Before I show to you how you can trade using psychological levels in forex trading, I would like you to understand basically what psychological level itself, what it is in terms of definition, and how significant psychological level are whenever you want to trade in the forex industry. So going to the definition of what psychological level are. Basically, psychological levels are round up numbers. So let's take for instance now in the West Africa, Nigeria to be precise. Whenever you go to the market, probably you want to buy, let's say, a bag of rice, and let's say the seller, which is probably the market woman or the person selling the bag, may place a particular price on that bag of rice. Take for instance, the seller said the bag of rice is 100,000. You as a smart buyer, you would want to negotiate to, let's say, 99,500. Even sometimes we may want to say 90,000. So such action in terms of the negotiation from 100,000 to 99,500 or 90,000, if you see the price you are negotiating to, you see that the price is a round up number, which is 99,500, not like negotiating to 99,982 naira. So that is the same way psychological level works, and that is why it is easy for banks and institutions, which is the big boy, to use that round up number to trade. So whenever they want to trade, they pay attention basically to those round numbers within the market. If you look at the right hand of my chart, you will see there are numbers there like 95,000, 94,000, 93,000. These numbers are what the big boys pay attention to, and instead of them to just place their trade, randomly, they only place their trade based on this round up number. So they only place their trade based on this round up number, and this round up number are what we call psychological levels. And in psychological levels, we have the major psychological levels, and also we have the minor psychological levels. So the major psychological levels are basically levels that are round up number within 1,000 or hundreds. Like 100,000 is a major psychological level, 99,500 is a minor psychological level, and 90,000 is a major psychological level. And when we scale down to 89,500 is what we call a minor psychological level. Now we want to proceed into how we can basically plot these psychological levels on our screen, or on the chart rather. So I will quickly rush to show you how you can plot your psychological level on your chart regardless of any currency pair or instrument you are trading within the forex space. Welcome back to my screen. We are still on the talk of how we can trade using psychological level, and at this point I would like to show you how you can plot your psychological level. But before we proceed into plotting our psychological level, I want you to realize that psychological level also acts as support and resistance within a particular currency pair or trading instrument. And psychological level, just like I have explained earlier, we have the major psychological level and we have the minor psychological level. And you can plot psychological level on any time frame, be it on a monthly time frame, on a weekly time frame. So psychological level can be plotted on any time frame of your choice. So now let me quickly show you how you can plot your psychological level on your price chart. So the first thing first you need to do before plotting a psychological level, regardless of any instrument you want to trade, is first you need to consider the current market price before you plot any psychological level. And as you can see by my left hand side, you can see that the current market price for this instrument is 85,000. It's fluctuating between 85,970 thereabout, which is that number on my right hand side that is colored in black is the current market price. So having know the current market price, the next thing you need to do is go to the left hand side. When you get to the left hand side of your trading view or any charting platform, but in this example I am using the trading view chart. So on your left hand side you will definitely find where we have the tools we are going to use in plotting our psychological level. So from the left hand side you need to locate the name of the tool we call horizontal line. So when you pick up your horizontal line, you bring it on the screen, which is on the chart rather. So having know your current market price, you need to round up your current market price now to suit a major psychological level price. So since the current market price here is 85,900 and something, we can actually now round it up to plot a major psychological level. So we are going to round it up to, let's say, 85,000. We are going to start with 85,000. So let's round this up to 85,000. So we have now plot our major psychological level. As you can see, it's colored with a green, while the current market price is still fluctuating within 85,900 and something. So we now get our major psychological level. We need to plot the next psychological level we are going to plot is the minor psychological level. And just like I have explained to you in my first illustration of using the price of a rice, you understand? So our next psychological level is going to be 85,500. I don't know if you get the gist. 85,500. Why the next other psychological level to the up will be 90,000. So we are going to keep on adding a kind of 500 to the current psychological level that we plot. So now our major psychological level, which is the first one we plot, is 85,000. We are going to put our horizontal line again to plot our minor psychological level, which is going to be 85,500. You see, we now have our minor psychological level. So we'll take another one again and plot continuously to the upside for 90,000. For 86,000, sorry, 86,000. So you see, we now have another third psychological level. So we'll take another one again. We can plot for 86,500. So that is how we keep on adding 500, 500, 500. So till we are satisfied with our psychological level. Welcome back, guys. In this section, I would like to use GBP USD to also show how we can plot our psychological level on our chart. This is GBP USD 1 hour time frame chart, and although the market have closed, but I am still going to use it as an illustration for us. So let's take, for instance, by the right hand side, you can see the current market price of GBP USD stop at 1.25864. So if we assume, or let's assume that is the current market price, although the market is not active at the moment, but that is the current market price. So if we are to plot our psychological level now, just like I have said earlier, the first thing you need to do is you need to know what the current market price is. So when you know what the current market price is on any time frame regardless, so the next thing you will do is you need to place your horizontal line on your chart. The first horizontal line you place on your chart is for you to plot your major psychological level. So now that it is obvious to us that the current market price for GBP USD is 1.25864, we need to round that current market price to suit a major psychological level price. So rounding 1.25864 to suit a major psychological level, we can round it up to, let's say, 1.25000. So let's round it up to 1.25000. So we now get our major psychological level. So we'll take our horizontal line again to plot our minor psychological level, which is going to be 500, 1.25500, 1.25500. So next thing for us now is to plot another major psychological level. So we'll take our horizontal line again, we'll double click it, and we edit the coordinate to 1.26 rather 000, because this is another major psychological level to the upside. So if we are going to add another one, which is going to be a minor psychological level, that one is going to be 1.26500, 1.26500. You can see that is, if we are moving to the upside, we'll keep on adding 500, which is similarly to a 50 pips difference. So if we are moving downward, let's say from this point now, we want to plot another psychological level to the downside. We know that the major psychological level which we are pointing on now is 1.25000. So we need to continue to subtract 500 to the downside. So if I am going to plot another psychological level below this major psychological level of 1.25000, so the minor psychological level will be 1.24500. You can see. So if we are going to plot another psychological level to the downside again, which is going to be a major psychological level, that one will be 1.24000. You can see. So I haven't explained to you guys how you can plot your psychological level, be it a major psychological level or a minor psychological level. Let me just quickly explain to you how you can trade with it briefly. So if you observe clearly the GBP USD chart and the psychological level which I have plotted on the chart, I explained to you earlier that the major psychological level or the minor psychological level, they also act as support and resistance. So now, whenever price comes to a particular psychological level, there will definitely be a reaction on that psychological level. Either a reaction that will push price to the upside or a reaction that will push price to the downside. So now, let's take for instance from here. You see that when price gets to this area of psychological level here, what did you see? You can see that price used this psychological level, which is 1.22500, which is a minor psychological level. Price used it as a support, and when price touched that minor psychological level, what did we see? We see that price eventually rallied to the upside. And even when price gets to this point here, again, this point, price use this point again as a support level, and price push to the upside again. So just like I have said, price always use any of this psychological level, be it a minor psychological level or a major psychological level, as support and resistance. If you take a look at this point also, what did you see? You will see that when price gets to this psychological level area, price reacts there, and use that place as support to push price to the upside. Even at this point, when price gets to this area of psychological level, what did you observe? You can see that price used that area of psychological level as resistance to push price to the downside. So take a look at this area as well. This area as well, you can see that when price gets to this area, price use this area of psychological level to do what? Price use it as resistance point, and price drop to the downside. So if you can understand how to plot your major and minor psychological level with this simple explanation, you can go on any currency pair or any instrument to plot your psychological level, and always ensure that price comes to that psychological level. I would like to say to you at this point, kindly subscribe to this channel, kindly like this video, kindly comment your opinion, or if you have any video that you want me to create for you, or you want me to upload there, an educational video, kindly comment it at the comment section of this video. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all a profitable Forex journey. Take good care of yourself and enjoy your day. Peace out.